Right, I'm with Kev Phillips, Forest Green's goalkeeping coach. Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about your role here?
Yeah, it changed slightly this year. As you know, previously I was doing a number of roles, but Gaff coming in, at the back end of last year has asked me to concentrate more on one role, and it's been great for me. Being able to concentrate on just one thing, rather than juggling, it's been a real help, and I think that Sam particularly has found a benefit from that. We've been able to get a lot more time in on the training ground, and it's all positive stuff.
How do you find it working this year with 4 goalkeepers? Normally it's been 2.
Actually, good. Yeah, really good. It's we've got a really good group. To be fair, there's some characters there, so we sort of have a laugh, and every day at the right time, obviously. But they're really hard workers. I haven't had to do anything to motivate them on a daily basis. Sometimes you get people that are a little bit difficult to work with, but we've got a really good blend, good personalities, real grafters. To be fair, they work very, very hard. I know you don't really see that on a match day. Maybe concentration-wise, it might be tiring for goalkeepers on a match day, but physically, generally, not too much. But believe me, they really put it in on a training day. Maybe you should come and have a look one day and sort of film some of that, because they really do put a shift in.
I notice on match days in the technical area, you're often there with like a clipboard, talking to the manager or Dave Kevan. Is that when the substitutions? What's actually happening there?
Yeah, Dave, the assistant, does all the set pieces and things now. That's something that I used to do, but he's obviously taken a front foot on that, bringing his Premiership experience, if you like. And I've learned a lot from that. But yeah, now it's just a substitution role. So as you know, we have to put a slip into the 4th official when we're ready to do a substitution, and that's basically all that is. There's nothing glamorous.
What's your general sort of pre-match thing with the keepers on a match day?
On a match day, actually on the pitch, or
yes,
you mean beforehand?
Yeah.
We sort of let them have their own time before the match, home and away, really, so that they're in their own sort of mental state. We don't do a lot of talking. I don't do a lot of talking to the keepers. It's just about their own preparation. We're a funny breed, I suppose. So getting their own frame of mind and their own routines and superstitions right is important. Sam, I was lucky with Sam. Really fortunate. He came with his own. He's an experienced goalkeeper. Played over 300 games now, senior games. So he came with his own ideas. So it was just about blending my beliefs and his routines and sort of finding out what works. He's played every game now. Touch wood, for this will be 2 seasons on the trot. So, with regards to other goalkeepers, we haven't really had to adapt it. We've just adapted their warm-ups to what Sam has put together. Really, he's, like I say, he's an experienced guy. Very much knows what he wants. He's a good professional. So he's in his own routine, wants his own things on a match day. So we've worked with that, really. There's only a few small sort of tweaks that we did. But it's the same routine every game. Same amount of sets, exactly the same routine all the time. Like I say, some of us are goalkeepers, funny breeds, so very superstitious, and a lot of routines that go on. Even on a pre-match day, we've got a certain routine that he likes to get through. Lads joke about it because we're always going on about our routines, but it's. I hope it's proven effective, if you like, because he has another good season. Ticking on to 10 clean sheets, and sort of 1 in 4, 1 in 5 clean sheets is a decent return, really.
You've worked under a number of managers here. Firstly, Jim Harvey, I believe.
Yeah.
How have they all compared, the managers?
Oh, blimey, that's a question. They all bring very different things. They're all completely different, really. Jim was a good tactician and a good coach, even though maybe he was a little bit more relaxed regarding his preparation and things. But the club's changed a lot since then as well. Although we were full time, we were training at Hartbury College, so it was a little bit of a juggling act, not knowing which pitch we'd be on, or times and things were difficult. But yeah, a good tactician, Jim, and certainly well respected by the players. Didn't take any messing, shall we say? I'll just leave it at that on camera. But a real gentleman, good guy. And then we had a small amount of time with Dave Brown in charge when Jim left. Experienced pro, I believe he was just an interim, if you like, and David Hockaday came in, who again completely the other end of the spectrum to Jim, really. An extremely organised, efficient manager, if you like, and coach. A gentleman, nonetheless, real straight batter, proper gent. Organisation was his forte, I suppose. And again, a good tactician and a good, I believe, a good coach. Certainly, you learn different things from different people, and David was not necessarily a phase of play man or a function man like out of a coaching manual, but he had his own way of getting things done. Lots of passing drills, a lot of the Dutch influence from when he was at Southampton and things. But like I say, you learn a lot from different people. Take the good things from lots of different people.
And then now on to AD.
The gaffer now, excellent. Brings Premiership experience, which we were all extremely excited when he was appointed. Obviously, you never know who's going to come in, but really, really excited. Learning a lot from him and Dave. To be fair, vast amounts of experience at the top level with both of those. And again, you learn different things from different people, and the way the gaffer now speaks to players on an individual basis and work, how should we say, as like a personal conversation with different players, and how he works on the coaching pitch, on the field with Dave, and that is really good. Lots of different ideas. Like I say, they've been around a long time, worked with top class players, so they sort of know what works, if you like. I think it's shown that the mood and the atmosphere around the camp has been excellent. So yeah, I've picked up loads and loads of things, different drills and different techniques and different games and fun activities and all that. And I don't mean to sound as if it's not professional, but it's important that there's a grind to a season, and they're getting to the point now where it's been a long season. We came back on the 24th of June, so it's been a long time. So sometimes a little bit of a fun activity, which is football based and stuff, that can go a long way to helping the atmosphere and stuff.
You've also worked under two chairmen in Trevor Horsley and Dale Vince. During that time, the club, as looking from the outside, has changed massively.
Yeah, you could say that. That's an understatement. Yeah, when I first started, it was part time. Trevor, I never really got to know that well. Unfortunately, it was just a different type of chairman, as all football chairmen are, as you probably come across. And did a lot for the club, to be fair to him. And then we sort of had an interim where we went from full-time to sort of part-time, half full-time when we were still at Hartbury, and then due to finances and things, and then Dale took over. We all know Dale is a complete individual, and that he definitely isn't like any other football chairman that I've come across. A really approachable, down-to-earth guy with the ethics of the whole club is just unbelievable. When you think of where it's come from to where it is now, we're pretty much geared up for league football, and I believe it will happen. And when it does, we'll be prepared for it. With the gaffer and Dave coming in now, we're trying to sort of get everything to the best standard we can, ready for football league, and it will happen.
How do you feel the season's panned out? It's been very topsy-turvy, different manager, etc.
Yeah, it's been upside down really. It's been a strange season. With David departing and Gary taking over for a short period, and then Scott and then the AD, the gaffer, coming in now. It's been strange and a little bit disappointing that we gave ourselves a chance, and then we had the disappointment of Southport and Woking, which probably won't need to go into. Any fans out there will understand the implications of those two games and the reasons for the defeats, but they're quite pivotal moments really for our season. We'd worked extremely hard to get back in to the running really after a difficult start to the season, which we all know about. But we gave ourselves a chance, and I think we can see it as a positive that we've gradually climbed the table. The form and the results since the gaffer's taken over has been positive. There's been a couple of blips along the way, but there is with every team. And I think we should finish higher than the club's ever finished before. eighth is no mean feat in at this level. When you look at the clubs that are involved with this league, all the ex-league clubs that are involved, and how long it's taken Luton, for example, such a massive club, to get back up. No one seems to ever come down and bounce straight back, and certainly no one's gone up, to my knowledge, and come straight back down either. So it is very competitive, and it's very close to League Two. So to finish higher than eighth and be the highest ever, part of a team that's the highest ever finished for Forest Green would be, make us really proud.
Yeah, just going back a little bit, as a former goalkeeper, can you tell us how your career started?
Oh, blimey, if I can remember, it's a long time ago. I started out at Swindon under Glenn Hoddle, and unfortunately only 2 years, but it was a massive part of my learning curve. Had a great time there, so it's a club that is quite close to my heart. After where you first start out always will be. Unfortunately, I didn't really do too well after that. I went to Aldershot for a short spell in Cheltenham, and then sort of played locally really. Is that what you're asking about career-wise? Yeah. Okay. So then I decided that I just wasn't going to get the break. Wish I'd have had maybe an agent or someone that had been in the game a little bit to advise me more, because I know now, certainly talking about our young keepers, you can't really expect to play first team football at sort of 18, 19, 20, 21, unless you're extremely lucky or extremely excellent, which has happened in the past with Joe Hart or whatever. So I feel I should have stuck at it a bit longer, but I decided to join the forces. So I went into the Royal Engineers, which was an amazing part of my life. Again, only 4 years, but really just a tracksuit soldier. It was almost like being a professional footballer in training every day, and independence-wise and helping me mature and grow up was a massive part of my development, really, as a person, as a player as well, I think. And then had a massive career change then, come out of the army and went in the prison service. I was a PE teacher in the prison service, which was was great. That was where I was, did 12 years, so I did that role, which was great, and then was lucky enough to get a part-time role at Forest Green. Still played sort of semi-pro and stuff while I was in the prison service, but nothing really to write home about. And then I was lucky enough to get the break with Jim and Jamie Pittman, and actually Mike Byrne, who I feel I should mention. He was excellent, a good friend of mine, but also someone who I probably regard as a bit of a mentor, who's done great things for my coaching career, if you like, and my experience. He's a top guy. So yeah, I owe him quite a lot to my development, really.
And of course, another one we haven't mentioned, who was part of the backroom staff in those days, was former England keeper Jack Russell.
Yes, different type of keeper. I was very fortunate enough to meet him on a few occasions. Very, very interesting guy. If ever you get the chance to, well, I'm sure you have, Ash, but everyone out there, if you have a chance to stop him in the street and speak to him, extremely interesting guy. Got some great stories. And also, again, like I said to you about the managers and things, you try and take the positives and learn different things from different people. And his conversations were excellent. His interesting sides of concentration was something that really sort of did it for me, regarding obviously being a wicket keeper, maybe having 6 balls and over, but the game may last all day rather than just an hour and a half. And he spoke at length to me and Mick actually about switching on and switching off. So he's big on sports psychology actually, and like I say, a really interesting guy. You'd never believe he was an England player. He's so down to earth. I suppose, like when we speak to Dale, being a down to earth chairman, Jack is exactly the same, proper gentleman. But you would just never believe it. He's just a normal guy, which I suppose all of the stars are at some point. But he strikes me as the sort of guy that hasn't changed at all. He really is, down to earth and a proper gent. So.
Brilliant, Kev. Thank you.